higher quality. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, we will be talking about some modeling tools. So but before that, we need to know about the polygon primitives. So the basic stuff will be to know your basic shapes. Okay, then we can go to our tools. So first of all, we are not looking at the surface modeling right now. We are only looking at the poly modeling. Okay, right now only poly modeling. Maybe in next any other classes I can talk about the surface. So let's not waste our time and make this one. So first of all, we have this sphere shape. So if you are new to Maya, you might learn lot of new stuff in your class, right? Like if you make a sphere, you will get this one, like subdivision axis, subdivision height. Okay, so basically it means is with these axes you can shape our shape into anything. So like if you want to make a flower vase, okay, with this shape you can just do it very easily. All you have to do is just select them and make it extrude. I'm going to make a little scaling over there, then I'm going to do this and delete, and you get a flower vase, right? It needs some polishing, but I'm just trying to prove my point. Okay, so cuts are very important. Like all these cuts are giving the shape to the sphere or vase or flower or something like that. Okay, so subdivision axis and subdivision height is very important. So as a beginner, how much subdivision is needed for a sphere? My recommendation is 12. Okay, so if you put 12, it will look like this. Okay, so you can also put 14, that the result will be like this. And if you put 16, you will get a result like this. Okay, so it depends on you. It depends on what you want to make, how much axis is needed. Okay, so everything is not in smooth mode, and I think 12 looks like a low poly model. Okay, so keep that in mind. 12 always look like a low poly model, and value below the 12 always look like a low poly model. So if you want to make a low poly model, or you want to make a model with very less polygons, okay, polygon or faces, then you have to put values below 12 or put the value 12. Okay, in the both axis and height. And if you go higher, I think, see, as you can see, there is 14, 16. Okay, so it depends on you how much you wanted. Okay, and at 20 it looks very smooth, so 20 is like a highest number. You don't have to go over the value of 20. So okay, I think 16 looks more smoother. 14 is fine also. Okay, it depends on your model. What I mean by that is, imagine we are going to make a flower vase based on these 3 spheres. So let's make a sphere. I'm gonna make a copy in here. First of all, I'm gonna combine. Okay, so what's the use of combine? You can just put your mouse over the combine, and you can see it combines the polygon object into a single object. So these 3 object will turn into one single object. Then you can do any operations, like you can merge, delete, extrude these multiple object at one time at the same time. So if I didn't combine, I can just select these and select a face from here and extrude. So it's not possible. So after I combine, I can select them very easily, and also I can extrude them. See, that is the use of combining. Okay, I'm gonna select this much. Okay, so I'm gonna move it up a little bit. Okay, if I use scaling, it will look like this, so I can use that. Okay, so I'm gonna move it up little bit. Then after that, I'm gonna extrude. Extrude is right in here. You can select. You can use the extrude from here, or you can use Ctrl+E. That is the short form of extrude. So the first letter of extrude, Ctrl+E, or you can use Shift. Okay, all of them are okay. Two methods are same, but one method is different. So I will show the difference also. So in here I clicked in here, so I got extrude. It is same as the Ctrl+E method. Okay, then you get something like this. So you get a pivot. It allows to go like this. You can also rotate them. See, you can also rotate them very easily. Then also you can right now rotation is activated, so I need to use the move tool. See, I can move them. Okay, I can move them very easily. So what if I use Shift to extrude? So Shift will allow us to do like this. Okay, so you don't have to you don't have to use the extrude to properly shape them or something like that. Okay, so this is the use of it, and as you can see, I make these flower vases. Okay, I know it's not pretty. I'm just making a small example. That is all. There is a video about flower pots. The proper name of the video is Powerful Cylinders. In that video, I make a lot of flower vase, lot of pots like shapes in using cylinders. Okay, so cylinders are very powerful things. You should learn. You should learn how to do that. Then only you can learn the complex stuff. So the basic stuff to learn first is the cylinders. Okay, learn that first, then we can learn these. So I'm going to press 3. So the pressing 3 will give you a smooth surface, smooth preview, not surface. It is a smooth preview. So all of them looks similar and same, right? But there is a difference. So if we go to mesh display, I don't think that is mesh display. I have to okay, here display, heads up display, then poly count. Okay, you can pass the screen and then turn on this one, and it will show you number of vertices in the scene, number of edges, number of faces, number of tries, number of UVs in this whole scene. Okay, so if I select this one, in here three objects are selected as one object. So I got 8527 vertices. Okay, so I'm gonna separate them using this method. So we learned this combine tool, then we learn this separate will separate them. Okay, one more thing you have to keep that in mind is when you separate, that pivot goes to here. So pivot goes to the 0 0, that is translation x value 0, y value 0, z value 0. So it basically it resets to the origin point. So we have to change that. We don't want that, right? So to do that, we have to go to this modify. Okay, modify. Then in the pivot section, you can see center pivot. Okay, so everything is done. Okay, okay, keep that in mind, keep everything in mind. I also put a shortcut of center pivot in this shelf, but because of too much space, too much tools in here, I can access it very easily. Okay, so I can even, imagine I don't want this UV things in my shelf, I can just delete them. Okay, if I want to reappear again, I can just delete the preference folder in the document. So here is also the center pivot, so I don't think I need that one. Okay, so here is the center pivot. Anyways, let's continue. Okay, now the reason I separated it because I want to show you how much vertices on each flower is. So this one has 183. Okay, so keep that in mind. This one has 225 and this one has 133. So the least one is this one. Okay, so I think this one is this one is 12, 14, 16. Okay, so the reason I tell you that is you have to keep the poly counts low. Okay, there is no rule saying that you should keep that in, keep it low, but I think my experience taught me that you should keep the polygons as low as possible. Okay, so okay, I think I will show an example. So imagine you have you put 12 people in a row, and you are confident in controlling these 12 people in this room, so you don't have any problem with that. But imagine you put 24 or 30 people in that same room, and you can only control the 12 people, right? So it's going to trouble you. So it's harder to control the people. So you will end up getting headaches. So that thing happens in this modeling also. So with less edge loops, with less subdivisions, I can easily manipulate the shape of this flower vase, and it keeps the shape whatever way I want. Okay, so I don't have to worry about anything. Even though these three are considered low, this is the best way. Okay, so 12 subdivision is fine. Okay, if you think you want more cuts, you can just use a smooth button and it will instantly smooth the whole thing. If you think this is too much, then you can go to this reduce, then it will always reduce it to something like this. But the problem is you still have this vertical lines, right? So it's up to you. So even though you have this reduce function, you can't just reduce everything. Okay, so it don't work same. Okay, it's hard to control, not every time it works fine. Okay, then so in sphere I think you already understand how many things you can make, right? So you can make a balloon, you can use a ball, you can use a flower vase, something like that. So the limit is the sky. Okay, so you can make anything out of it. What about cube? Cube don't have any subdivision width. That is because its value is at 1. You have to put 2 and you will get something like this. You can also put 3 or 5 or 6 or 10, it depends. Okay, so you can put any kind of values. So what's the use of the subdivision? So imagine you want to make a staircase. So just do this. See, if you already have a reference image of the staircase, then you just have to align the vertices of the staircase according to your the reference image, and you will get something like this. See, it's very easy to make. Okay, so this thing only happened because this type of modeling is only possible because we have enough subdivisions to do this. Okay, and you don't have to just select them and the reduce the number of vertices in here. That is not necessary. Okay, but if you want, you can try. Okay, so imagine this one has 144. I think I will take the values of faces. So it has 112 faces. So I'm going to make a little copy in here. So if I delete this unwanted edge loop, I will get how much? It gets to 84. Okay, now I'm going to select all these and scale it down and put it right here. So I'm going to use the merge to center function. Okay, so remember that. What I did do is, okay, I will show it in here. So I'm going to select these three and merge it to center. What happens? It all merged to one piece, but it is in the center of the selection. So it is center on this point and this point. So that is why it is called merge to center. Okay, I'm going to use the same thing in here and here. So it reduces my face count to 76. Okay, I don't think it is necessary, but anyways, I'm going to keep it. Then I'm going to do this. Okay, actually it is not necessary to do this, but I'm just trying to show you there are ways to reduce the face count or vertices count, right? Okay, so that is what I'm trying to teach you. Okay, then I think okay, so these things will go to here. Okay, then you can imagine you want to snap this to this point, so you can use this button. Okay, snap to point, then snap it. Okay, it's that easy. Okay, after that you can turn it off and then just merge it to center. Okay, so let's count the number of edges on each faces. So let's take this face. So we got 1 2 3 4. Okay, 1 2 3 4. So every face has 4 sides, and we are successful in doing that. Okay, after that I'm gonna mirror it. Okay, so I'm gonna use, I think Z is fine. Okay, so right now I'm gonna put it like this one, then I'm gonna delete all the history. So what I did was I go to this edit delete all by type history. So it deletes all the histories of the object in the scene, all the object. Okay, so every object in the scene they get their history deleted. But if you use delete by type history, then selected object is the only thing affected. So selected object will lose the history. That is all. Okay, after that I'm gonna delete this one. So let's see how much. Now we are back to 78. Okay, so I think okay, now let's select these things. I'm gonna do it like this and do it like this. Okay, Okay, then after that I'm gonna again merge it to center. Okay, so it's still the same. Okay, okay, as a beginner you don't have to think about this one too much. Okay, so I'm just trying to teach you the possibility of reducing the phase counts. Okay, that is all. So this one right now has only 30 phases, so it's a big reduce from 78 phase to 30. Okay, so somebody is gonna ask, is it really necessary? Okay, so even as a beginner maybe I also have this doubts, right? So why is it necessary? It is only necessary in the gaming industry, not in the film industry. Okay, so in the film industry you can use higher polygons, so they don't care about that budget. So okay, so in short you can use higher polygons, even use the 3D scans, stuff like that. So it has millions of vertices. So the film industry don't care about that. But in the game industry you need to reduce all your phase or vertices count. That is why I used this method. So basically what I did was I merge them like this. Okay, it doesn't affect when we are trying to texture it, so there is no problem in that. Okay, so texturing is like a another section, so we will talk about it later. Okay, so we made a cube from we made a cube, then turn it into a staircase, and we also reduce the polygon counts. So first it has okay, I think I will delete this one. Okay, this one is not part of our plan. So this one has 84, now it has 30. Okay, so we reduce the whole number of phases or vertices or something like that. Okay, and we will talk about more with this cube modeling, but we have to continue. So let's use the cylinder. In cylinder you will get something like this. So you have this axis. I think it's same as the sphere. You can use 12 as a starting, or you can use 14 as a starting, or 16. Don't use odd numbers. Okay, odd numbers in this section, and I will show you a reason why. So here I have 16, this one has 15. Okay, so imagine your friends ask you that they want to turn this this face to a code. So it basically has 4 sides. Now it has 3 sides. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one. Okay, select like this. Okay, then I'm going to delete. So just a basic delete, not control delete. Okay, and you get something like this. So basically every face has 4 sides. Okay, so we can say we can approve this one, right? Let's go to this one. So I'm going to do the same, but there is a problem. Okay, so which one should I select next? See, there is 2 of them. If if I have one in the middle, then I could select one, but since this is an odd number, what I mean by that is, in the subdivision axis we only put 15, that is an odd number, so that is why it happens. So always use even numbers. Okay, so always, every time, don't put the odd numbers. Okay, I will also teach you about a quick tip. You already heard about topology, right? So everybody is going to fear about topology, thinking it is kind of a big deal, but actually it is not. Okay, you can, any noob beginner modeler can do that. Okay, first of all you have to get an idea about it. Okay, so good topology is very important. I will show you how. So I'm gonna, first of all I'm gonna do the same in the bottom piece also. Okay, so I'm gonna make a copy in here. So if I press 3, I get something like this, right? Okay, that is not good. I'm gonna make another copy. In here I'm gonna take the inside the loop tool, or you can use the multi-cut tool. A multi-cut tool is available in here, and also the quadra or something like that. Okay, you don't have to. Okay, you can use multi-cut and add a cut like this. Okay, just don't mind this side. Okay, I'm going to press 3. Let's see, let's turn off this one, and there is a problem with that. So as you can see, since it is low poly, I can see the weird shading like this. Okay, so how can I solve that? So in order to do that, I will just make a cut in here like this. Then I'm gonna make a loop like this. Okay, so I'm gonna press 3. Did you see any weird weird shapes like this? No. The one of the reason is because we have good topology. Okay, that is why. So how did I achieve that? It's very easy, and you already saw the process. That is, I just extruded inwards, so it basically creates a this circular path. Okay, just imagine like a wall surrounding a city. Okay, so basically it protects, it's like a protecting the outer this faces. Okay, more closer. Okay, we just have to put it like this. Okay, so if I only make a cut in here, the Maya will automatically distort this part. So in order to save that from happening, in order to prevent that from happening, you have to make a cut like this, and it's not possible to make a cut using multi-cut. Okay, so if I try to make a cut in here, see, it will look like this. That is why I use extrude. So basically I selected like this and extruded, and the result is like this. See, and we get a clean surface. Okay, I'm gonna do this also. Okay, so both sides are mirrored. See how clean it is. Okay, so let's count the polys. So I'm gonna press 1, 1, 1, 1. So this one has 32, this one has 64, but this one has 112. But I can just remove this one. This will reduce something. Okay, to 96. Okay, so I think this one is good, right? So So this one doesn't take a lot of spaces in the memory. But in game, the our developers or model is not going to do this. Okay, they will just use the low poly model and just put the texture over it. That is all. Okay, because that you don't have to do this stuff. Okay, so if you are making a short film for your own, then you can do this and it will beautify the whole scene. But in the game you don't have to. Okay, so imagine if you are making a candle. Okay, maybe you will have to do stuff like this, maybe like this. Okay, you can use this part as this part separate. Okay, so and you will get something similar to candle like thing. Okay, so and also we will make sure to use like 6 or 8 subdivision axes. That is enough to make a candle, because as you can see this is too much. Okay, there is too much axes in here, too much edge loops. Okay, that is not a good thing. So we will use like even low poly, even low polygons. Okay, that is a very necessary thing and you will learn it eventually. Okay, so let's go to the next part, that is our cone. So what's the use of cone? Basically it is made from the cylinder. Okay, the reason I said is because if you select the cylinder and merge the top thing, you will get a cone. Okay, so that is the thing. But if you are using cone, then you can adjust these values. If you make a cone from a cylinder, you can adjust like this. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, then also in height you can also add this cuts. Okay, so if you want you can add this cut, and also you have this round cap. In round cap I think you should add some value in here, so you will get something like this. Okay, this one is also available in the cylinder. In cylinder there is round cap and you just have to add some values in here, so we will get something like this. Okay, so if you put one in here you get something like this. Okay, another interesting stuff I usually make from this like cylinder is this one. So I think 8 is enough. Then I'm gonna delete the faces down below, and now it looks like a tent. Okay, so then I'm gonna go to this hard edge and you get something like this. As you can see, now it looks like a little tent, right? So you can make a little stuff like this, little wider in the base, then make a like just put a cylinder in here, making it look like a rope to the ground and tie them into the ground. Okay, then you can also open the face in here. So if you want to make a cut, you just have to do this. So I'm going to first select this one. If the cut has to be in here, then just stop it right there, then do it right here. See, I'm going to delete that. Okay, it's a very interesting low poly hut, something like that, hut or tent or something like that. But in realistic way, I think you have to put extra effort in making a separate cloth in here, then separate cloth in here, then make it look like it is like a single cloth. That way you will get an realistic feel. But right now it only looks like a low poly tent or something like that. Okay. Anyway, the creativity to make anything is important. Just develop your creativity. Okay. In torus you can make donuts very easily, and I think 16 is fine. The reducing the amount of subdivision will reduce the stress to the PC. Okay, so always reduce that. Okay, you don't want your PC get to heat up. Okay, then after that you can use the test button. So many people think, what's the use of it? Okay, I don't think it is very useful. Okay, and I will show you it is useful if you use 4 subdivisions. Okay, so if you use 4 subdivisions, you will get something like this one. And if you use twist, then you can make something like this. So I'm gonna turn on the X-ray mode, then I'm gonna make this one straight as possible. So I think 45 is the proper angle. With the 45 you can make this one, and also it allows to make like this. See, the twist has some uses, but then also you can add the axis also. See, it's basically like a pipe, and I think pipe is in here, and I will show you the pipe later. So it is similar to pipe, and you can do this. Okay, if you add a cut, then you get something like a cylinder, and if you put 4, and it will turn back like this. Make sure the twist is at 45. Then you have this plane. Okay, so plane is basically like a 2D object, and you have this X and Y Y axis, and it only has this width and height subdivisions. So if you want, you can put it. If you don't want it, you don't have to put it. Okay, so then basically you can just select them, shift and drag, and you get a extrude like this, and possibilities limitless. Okay, so you can do anything with it, and okay, you get the idea. So you can do anything. Then we have this disk one. I don't feel any use for this, but as you can see, it is a big circle, and you can use chord, triangle, pi, and also cap, also circle, and increase the subdivision. You will get different results. Okay, so just play with the values, and you will find some interesting shapes. So there is platonic solid. In here you have to go to this primitive isohedron, tetrahedron, cube, and etc. Okay, so octahedron, then stuff like that. When there are also this one, then this one is for the radius. Then after that, I think there is a sphere inflation, and you get something like this. Okay, if you want, there is a, so this way you can easily make this shape. Okay, or else it is hard to model it. So If you want to make the shape, then you can make it. And also the topology will be based on how you select the subdivision mode. Okay, so it depends on you. Then okay, I'm gonna reduce the I'm gonna shorten the tutorial on this primitives by selecting only few of them. That is, I think I will select and say something about the pipe, because I already mentioned it earlier. So in pipe you can use subdivision axis, also height. It also have a cap. So if you turn on the round cap, you will get something like this. Okay, so you can basically make something like this. Okay, then important thing is helix. Helix is very important, because if you want to make a spring or suspension coil, then you have to use this guy. Okay, so you can adjust the values in here. So width, there is a radius for that, height, then coil, you can increase the number of coils, then that's basically it. Okay, so you can reduce the number of the subdivisions on the coils, so it will be less, it has some less polygons. Okay, so even though it has like 2282 faces, doesn't matter. Okay, so you already play the game PUBG, right? So in PUBG, if you check the buggy car, and you can see the suspension on that car, and you in closer inspection, you can see that is not actually a coil. Okay, it's just a texture on a cylinder, right? So using a cylinder instead of coil is the very it's the most easiest way, right? So basically you just have to paint the texture of a coil on this cylinder, and it will look like a cylinder. So if it is placed in the darkest area of the car, then you have to put black as a background, and nobody's gonna notice about it. So in a distance it will look like a coil. See, that is how the game companies do their work. Okay, it's not a fraud thing, or it's not fooling the players. It's making the game more stable. Okay, so the less polygon it is, the more stable the game is. Okay, then we have this gear in here. You can go to this gear, and you can decrease or increase the sides. Then you can adjust the radius, inner radius, also height. There is height division for that also, and there is a I think the height baseline is not a necessary thing. It is this one is added in the newest version of Maya. So if you want to use it, you can do it. Okay, then there is gear spacing, that is, I think, space between this or this the gears. Then there is gear offset, so it will basically increase the length of the gear tooth, and there is some features for the gear tip, gear middle, twist. Okay, so if you are making a like a blade like thing or fan like stuff, you can use this one. So if I add some cuts in here, see what I get this one. There is also a taper, and it will basically make the model ugly, this one. Okay, you can also do this, and it might look like it is going everything to the center, and also you can decrease the inner radius also. So I'm gonna put 0.1 in here. I think the taper value can go even lower with that amount. See, I get something like this. Okay, so use your imaginations. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the soccer ball or super ellipse or stuff like that, but I will tell about one thing. Okay, maybe this one. Then click random. Okay, so I can put any kind of vertical divisions, and I get some stuff like this. Okay. Okay, it applies to the the super ellipse, spherical harmonics, ultra shape. Okay, so do that. Now in the shelf you can have the shortcuts in here, so I'm gonna make a cube. After that I want to make a 2 cube, so to combine that we use combine tool, to separate them we use separate, right? Okay, then after that I'm gonna select this face, I'm gonna extrude, then I'm gonna do this, and I accidentally delete this part. So how we can fill this hole? So the answer is in the question also, that is fill hole. So I'm going to select these two. I'm going to use two methods. So first method will be to use the bridge, so it will do the work very fine. Then after that you can just double click it, select all these four, then go to this mesh, fill hole, and you got the hole filled. Okay, then after that there is something called reduce, and I already show you how reduce things works. So basically if you have a high poly mesh, then use reduce to reduce the number of subdivisions in the mesh. Sometimes it gives some good results, sometimes it don't, so don't rely on it too much. The mesh and retopologize is for the advanced users, so you don't have to learn it right now. You can learn it but later. Then there is a smooth, so basically it gives this subdivision level to the mesh, and it makes the stuff like this. Okay, so if you want to use the smooth, so and also you might think, how is this smooth working? So does it give any random shape like this? Okay, is Maya giving random shapes to this model? Actually it is not giving any random shapes to the random shape when we use the smooth. Okay, so I'm going to press 3, not smooth, I'm going to press 3, then I'm going to go to this one and I'm going to use the smooth. So I'm going to press 3 in here also. As you can see, both look same, right? The both look same. That is how powerful the smooth is. So it gives this shape to this one. So even if I press 1, it still look the same. Okay, so it looks weird, but what I'm trying to say is it's already looking similar to that of this object. So and this object has more cuts, this object don't have that cuts. That is the only difference. Okay, so just experiment on this. Okay, then after that we will need this edit mesh. So in here there is add division, so it gives division to the mesh without making it smooth. So it works similar to the smooth, but they are different. Okay, so okay, I think it looks good. Okay, so it's good. What about if I just add a extrude like this and like this, then after that I'm gonna select make a extrude like this one, then again I'm gonna make a mirror of this one. I don't know what's happening, but anyways. Okay, so I'm gonna select as object mode. Maybe it is because I didn't select it as a object mode. Okay, so I'm gonna move it right here and it will look like this. So what happens if I add subdivision, if I add division to this one? Okay, we need a side by side reference, so I'm gonna do this in here. See how powerful the tool is. So it basically adjust the shape of this object and added subdivision according to that. Okay, it's very clean, very super efficient. Okay, so it basically adds a edge loop between two edges. So it basically it was adding a cut here, as you can see in here, and put a thing in here, in here. Okay, stuff like that. Okay, it's very interesting. Okay, then we have this bevel. So bevel is also an important step if you are planning to become a hard surface modeler. Okay, so basically it does is, I'm going to select this to bevel. Okay, there is bevel also. Then I'm going to add a segment. Okay, if I add segment, it turns into smooth, like, okay, so what if I say I don't want any smoothness? Okay, I want subdivisions but not smooth. So what should I do? So basically you have to go to this chamber section and make it turn on. Okay, so you can add cuts in here but no beveling. Okay, you can do stuff like that. You can also increase the segments fraction values also. Okay, so it basically adjust the influence of the beveling, and then okay, so if I put -1 as a depth and the curve will goes inwards. Okay, now it's upwards. Metering alone doesn't matter. I don't think I see any big changes while doing that. Maybe it has, maybe I didn't see that. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this one. Now what? Now we tried the bevel. Now go to the bridge. So let's go to the bridge. Okay, so right now I'm gonna do is only select these sides of faces. I'm gonna extrude and I get something like this. Okay, so I'm gonna Control D, then I'm gonna make another copy of this one. So my goal is to connect a cylindrical like pipe, maybe cubical pipe to this one. So these two are connected. Okay, so the problem is I can't do that. Okay, so this way I can do that. So in order to solve that, I'm going to select these two, combine them. So now it is a single object. While it is a single object, I can do anything. Okay, so I'm going to select this face, I'm going to bridge it. Okay, if this process doesn't work, you have to delete that face first. I'm going to show you. Okay, I will show you everything you need to know. First of all, delete that one, double click it. So make sure you select 4 of them in this side and 4 of them in this side. If one side has only 3 edges, this won't work. Okay, so it says Maya cannot process the selected edges because the mesh being bridge must combined into single mesh, or the number of selected edges are not same, stuff like that. Okay, not same for the origin and target. So origin and target doesn't have the same. So I'm gonna select, make sure I select 4 of them. Then I'm gonna bridge them. See, now it is bridge, and I get something like this. Okay, so this is how you do a successful bridging. Okay. Okay, now I have circumcise. Okay, so it's a very interesting thing. Then for that, imagine I want a circular thing in here. So as an old Maya user, what you're going to do is just make a cylinder, and I'm gonna select this boolean, then I'm gonna use difference. So select these two. Okay, I think they added some punch hole. They added some new features. So you can use this one. You can even use a slice. Okay. Now I'm gonna select like this one. What happens? So I can slice it, cut out, and I get something like this. Split edges, intersect, difference. See, I can get a lot of stuff, and union will give me like this. Okay, so it basically becomes one part, and now it looks like this. Okay, so it's up to you. So how much of the if you want it like this, and you can use the boolean. So union will make the two object as one, and in difference, so the first the B object will cut the A object. This method, the B object will cut the A method. Okay, so then intersection, so the common area of the common part of the both object will be remained after doing that. Then there is a slice. You can use the second shape as a cutting knife or something like that. So you can cut it into any shape you want. You can also use a hole punch that basically makes a hole in here based on like this. So the B object will be used as a object to make a hole, stuff like that. So in reverse you get cut out and also split edges. Just experiment it. Okay, so if you listen to me, your head's gonna explode. So basically you have to do it. Okay, so now I get this. Okay, it's very interesting, and okay, this is the feature of the new Maya version. So if you are using an old Maya version, you don't see anything like this. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna leave it right there. So this has some issues because it's not properly connected. See, as you can see, there is 1 2 3 4 5 6 sides. Okay, that's not good. So to solve that problem, we will do some magic. Okay, so I'm gonna select this part, this cube like thing. So basically I unselect this two of this. Okay, so I only select the middle part. Then I'm gonna go to this circularize. Then I'm gonna press this one, and I get something like this. See, then I'm gonna move it up. So which one is cleaner? This one. Okay, there is no doubt for that. I'm gonna double click it, then double click it. After that, I'm gonna unselect these two. Then I'm gonna again circulate this one. Okay, it will give me something like that. I'm gonna press 3 and it even looks good. Okay, so if I press 3 in here, see the difference, see the quality difference. Okay, so that is why you have to choose the proper method, or the correct method you want. Okay, or else your mesh is going to look like this. Okay, even though we get a bad result like this method is also still useful. So don't underestimate the Boolean method. Okay, Boolean method is very powerful. Most of the most of the artists don't use Boolean very much. It's very powerful, and you have to experience by yourself, or maybe I can teach you later. Then we already learned about the extrude. Detach is like, just select this face, then detach, and you got a face. Okay, like this. So it's still combined, but the face is detached. Okay, that is the main purpose. But if you use extract, okay, so if you use extract, the new face is separate from this one, so you get something like this. Okay, that is the difference between detach and extract. Okay, after that we will have to learn the extrude, then merge. Merge is basically like if you do select two of the vertices, then it will basically merge, and if it shows any like merge threshold, you have to increase it to be then it will be able to merge it together. Then there is a flip option called flip. Let's try it. Okay, so this is fine. I think I select this one and flip it. Okay, I think it says now component selected for flip, so I'm going to select these faces and I'm going to flip it. Okay, so there is we need to select a mesh edge, so I'm going to select this one. Then what happened? Okay, I'm going to do it again. I don't think it's not same as I wanted, so I'm going to flip it again. I'm going to use this one. Okay, so it's getting interesting. I'm going to flip it again. Right now I'm going to use this one. That doesn't work. Okay, you can use the edges from the selected area. So let's use this one. Okay, anyway, the way it should work is because is like this. So if I flip it, then it has to flip like this one and do like this. Okay, so this is the result it is supposed to give, but there is some issues. Okay, okay, we don't need to use the symmetrize right now. There is delete edge bar vertex. So basically you can delete edge and vertex with this method, that is control delete. Okay, so we already know that. Control delete, then fine. So so if you have any doubts on wedge, there is already a video based on that. that is like pipe modeling. Okay, I think I made a video about pipe modeling. So if you check that video, then you can see the wedge. Okay, I use that wedge a lot of time in that video. Okay, I intentionally avoided some some features, but because that is not necessary right now. Then as a beginner you only need this one, that is inserted group tool. So I will show you the method. So basically take this tool, click. Okay, so click and you get what you want. Okay, then if you go to this option, you can see this feature. So my favorite one is this multiple edge loops. So if I put like 24 in here and click it right here, see 24 edge loops are placed inside these 2 edge loops. Okay, so it's very important and it's my favorite thing. There is also a equal distance between some edge, that is like this one, but doesn't seem to be working. Then you can also reset this one to the default stage, and you can't just put them in the correct center. Okay, if you want to put in the correct center, then you have to use multi cut. So if you use the control, then you can do this, right? But it's still not in the center, because as you can see it is currently at the 42. So if I press shift, then I can put it in the 40, 50. See, now it is in the proper center. Okay, so using shift as a snapping feature, you can do it whatever you want. Okay, I already made a lot of videos, lot of videos about Quadra tool. So basically watch that. Okay, I'm not gonna explain it in here, but anyways, I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on that. So first, basically we have to make it as live. Okay, so there is a main object that will act as a live object. Then we use the Quadra tool, then click. Okay, so we get 4 vertices. It will turn into one face. Okay, then I'm gonna double click in here and get something like this. So as you can see, the edge loops are not straight. So what we are going to do, we're going to press shift, then click and drag all around here. So it will actually make the edge loops like straight or something like that. But if you use it on the edge loops, on the edge border, and this thing might happen. But if you do it in the inside area, and the the border is not going to be affected by that. Okay, it depends on how you use it. Then after you turn off this one, I think I can do this. See, that is how easy it is. Then let's see what else should I do. Okay, I think I covered a lot of things in here. You don't need this one or this one. Quadra is fine, multi-cut is fine, crease tool is not necessary. Create polygon is something like this one. So basically it creates a polygon, and you can just model it into any shape you want. But also keep in mind that it is not like a proper topology, so you have to clean that later. Okay, so I think I covered most of them. I know I talked too much, talk faster. I hope you like this video, and I think next time I will prepare it very well. Right now I'm in a hurry, so thank you for watching, and I hope you like this one. And you can also ask any doubts in the comment section, and I will solve it in the next live video. Okay, I'm planning to make a lot of live videos recently. Okay, so this is a recently just just for a time pass video. Okay, so this is not a client work or something like that. Okay, so it's using the encloth. Okay, it's a very basic stuff. There is no other plugins or something like that. Just encloth, passive collider. That is all. Okay, and I use some basic camera movements. That is also the camera has like this one frame in here, one key in here, one key in here, and one key in here. Okay, so it basically does this one. That is all. All these are very important because these objects need to have the rigidity, right? So there is 4 rigid object and one enclosed. Enclosed is this one. Okay, and I also give it a basic shaders and stuff, so it will look like this one. I give some fabric texture to this cloth. This wall texture is very similar to the material in the Arnold. Okay, so Arnold renderer, and I will show you how. So if we go to here, and you can see this is short form for brushed metal. That is, if you go to this preset, and you can see brushed metal, so I just use that. Okay, simple as that. So it is just is for testing, so I just did that. Okay, then there is also one more thing I have to tell you. Okay, this is now my current project for the video for the YouTube. Okay, so basically I made this one. Okay, so I talk about how we can make the t-shirt in Maya very easily. Okay, the interesting part of this modeling is you can basically open the shirt. Okay, so I make sure it is properly functional like a real shirt. Okay, it's not necessary, but I just did it. Okay, for the sake of the video. Okay, then I put a collar in here, and I even did this one. Okay, like this one. Okay, and in the section I made this cloth. Okay, so I think you should wait for that. Okay, so I will complete that video and upload it very soon. Maybe like there will be part 3 of this video. The first part will be focusing on that boy, second part will be on this guy, and third part will be on this old man. Okay, so we will do that, and just wait for me. Okay, and I will upload it soon. Okay, so this is one piece. Okay, it's not a 3-piece cloth, just one piece. So I will show you how. I'm gonna press 3, and I double click it. See, it's one piece. Okay, there's no gimmick in here, there is no merging in here. It's basically a basically one object, and the technique I use is Quadra method. Okay, and we will learn that in that video. So time to in this video. Thank you for watching, and also make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will be uploading more videos like this. Currently, my students have some exam, that is why I'm getting busy in here. So I will try my best to upload more videos frequently, and thank you for watching.